To see that, you have to imagine that the way we see the WNBA is different than how we saw it 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even 2 years ago.
We have more eyeballs on the game, and Caitlin Clark brings that. Why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
The countdown is on. The WNBA season is just a few days away, and the tension is building. The draft looms just 2 weeks ahead, and the basketball world is on edge. Who will make the leap to the pros, and who will stay behind for another shot at college glory? The decisions being made right now will shape the future of the league. Some players are solidifying their legacy, while others are questioning what comes next. The landscape of women's basketball is shifting, and everyone is watching with Flau'Jae James coming to the spotlight.
James got her hand into the passing lane. She runs the floor very well and finishes it. Oh, good job right here of Isaiah James getting a deflection. Leads to the steal and one of the few easy buckets they've been.
The WNBA is about to enter one of its most defining seasons ever. More eyes, more pressure, and more opportunities to prove who belongs at the top. The question is, are you ready for the storm that's coming? Let's start off with Flau'Jae Johnson's situation right now.
Honestly, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. A lot of people don't get the opportunity that I get and that I receive just to be able to come to LSU. I feel like they helped me not only mature on the basketball floor, but as a person. And Coach Mulkey, thank you for everything. Seriously.
She's at a crossroads. LSU's heartbreaking Elite Eight loss to UCLA left her with more questions than answers. At 21, she's already eligible for the 2025 WNBA draft, but she hasn't made up her mind. Her response? A simple, uncertain, I don't know. And that silence speaks volumes.
So the 2025 WNBA draft has just got a whole lot more interesting. It's got a whole lot more interesting because it's looking more and more likely like Flau'Jae Johnson is going to be in the draft. And that changes what everybody thinks when it comes to this draft, because Flau'Jae is an exceptional player. She's exceptional. And I mean a lock for the number 2 overall pick. First of all, again, I still think the Dallas Wings are dead set on Paige Bueckers, but there will at least be conversations entertained about whether or not they should take Flau'Jae, and I don't think those conversations go far. But also, if Seattle are dead set on Paige Bueckers, if you can add Flau'Jae and maybe 2 firsts, or maybe 3 firsts and Flau'Jae, which the Seattle Storm can do, suddenly that looks very appealing if you are the Dallas Wings.
She's got options. She could declare for the draft and join the ranks of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the pros, or she could stay, run it back with LSU, and chase the championship that slipped through their fingers. But what's holding her back? Family? Coach Mulkey's guidance? The weight of expectations?
So the rumors everywhere was that Flau'Jae Johnson was going to be declaring for the WNBA draft. And look, it made sense for her to do that. Flau'Jae is somebody whose fame isn't that reliant on her playing at LSU, specifically playing in college. Flau'Jae is not like, say, an Olivia Miles, who's gonna be the star and make tons of money with wherever she goes, make tons of money in NIL transfer, and whereas she'd be a bench player in the WNBA. Flau'Jae might have been a bench player in the WNBA, if we're being honest. She might have been. And we've got, obviously, now a situation where she's not declaring for the WNBA draft. She was going to be, again, one of the bigger names, possibly the number 2 overall pick, probably the number 2 overall pick, if we're being honest. And there would have been conversations about her going 1. And maybe not conversations about taking her 1, but conversations, if you were Dallas, on maybe, Flau'Jae plus 2 firsts for Paige. And that's a debate.
The loss to UCLA hit hard, and Johnson took it personally. It's all on me, she admitted, shouldering the blame for LSU's early struggles. Being too passive? I'm done with that. But is she ready to take that aggression to the next level? Or will she choose to stay and prove she can lead LSU to redemption? Coach Kim Mulkey isn't pointing fingers. She knows the game was lost in the second quarter, not on Johnson's shoulders alone. But even with that reassurance, Johnson's decision remains a mystery. The clock is ticking, and the world is waiting to see what she decides. Meanwhile, Lisa Leslie has defended Caitlin Clark and wondered why some players are upset.
Speaking of the WNBA draft, I want to talk about the projected overall pick, Paige Bueckers. And this one's kind of a two-parter because I would love to know what we should expect from another superstar being brought into the league, but also I think it goes deeper because you think about Caitlin Clark making waves without winning a championship, despite getting very close. If UConn doesn't take it this year, it feels like Paige is going to be in that same boat. So I'm curious if you think winning an NCAA championship is needed for that eventual GOAT conversation, greatest of all time status.
Absolutely not. I didn't win an NCAA championship. I was National Player of the Year. I won all of the individual awards, but sometimes, it's very hard to win a national championship, regardless of how much people talk about it, like, oh, you have to have it. It is one of the hardest things to do in a tournament where you have so many games and you're trying to get there. So yeah, shout out to all of the players who were able to win national championships, but it doesn't make a player who didn't win a national championship any less of an amazing individual player and the possibility to be in the talks of being a GOAT.
Lisa Leslie has had enough of the negativity. The WNBA legend came forward with a clear message that Caitlin Clark isn't just good for the league, she's changing it. More TV deals, bigger crowds, and sold-out arenas. That doesn't happen by accident.
Smith had a very interesting discourse with Fee recently over the number of games the Fever have broadcasted this season compared to other teams who have also got stars on them. So I'm curious what you make of W's decision to lean into highlighting its stars, even if they aren't the best.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect, called the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games? I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities.
We can't deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game, Leslie said. But not everyone is celebrating Clark's rise. Some players see the media hype and feel overlooked. Is it jealousy? Frustration? Leslie doesn't sugarcoat it. The truth is, when one player brings in more eyes, the whole league benefits. When one player eats, we all eat, she said. But is that mindset shared by everyone?
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So
Clark isn't the type to make it all about her. She's praised the legends who came before her and shares the spotlight with her teammates. Yet, the criticism keeps coming. Some say she's getting too much attention, but Leslie's take is simple. I mean, why complain when the league is growing like never before?
I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have. But it is what it is. And I think that we are all benefiting from the effects that she's had on the game. And I just appreciate the way she shows up. Listen, she's a competitor. She's a trash talker. She makes players around her better. She's exciting to watch. And quite frankly, I've missed seeing her. Being at Unrivaled, I wish that she was there. Like, I've missed seeing her play. So I really look forward to seeing her back out there. But as I do all of the WNBA players, like, we are really watching a very exciting level of basketball. I miss seeing A'ja Wilson out there. Like, she's, to me, still one of the best players in the world.
For years, the WNBA has fought for more recognition, and now they have it. The question is, will the league embrace the change, or will internal conflicts hold it back? Clark isn't slowing down, and neither is the movement she's bringing with her. Meanwhile, the Liberty aren't playing around this time. Fresh off their first ever WNBA championship, they just locked in one of the biggest names in the game, Breanna Stewart. The reigning MVP isn't going anywhere, and New York just sent a clear message. They're building a dynasty.
Sloot switched off on by Ezzy. The smaller Kia Nurse with Breanna turning over her and hitting Breanna Stewart coming back to Seattle.
Erica Wheeler stopped by Breanna Stewart. Gets the block, starts the transition. Sloot right back to Stewart through the contact.
With a 32-8 record in 2024, the Liberty were already a powerhouse. But keeping Stewart, that's the move that makes them the team to beat. She's done it all. Multiple MVPs, Olympic gold medals, and a reputation as one of the most dominant forces in the sport. Losing her wasn't an option. The impact she has on and off the court is immeasurable, said Liberty GM Jonathan Kolb, and he's right. Stewart isn't just a scorer, she's a leader, a player who makes everyone around her better. With her in the lineup, the Liberty's championship window isn't just open, it's wide open. The league is shifting, and New York is sitting at the top. Other teams are making moves, but keeping Stewart puts the Liberty one step ahead. They've set the standard. Now it's up to the rest of the league to catch up. Now when it comes to the big names, Angel Reese doesn't forget. When LSU took down NC State, she wasted no time making it clear, "Oh, and that win was personal," she posted. And just like that, the internet exploded. The beef goes back to last year. During an NC State game, a fan held a sign saying, "Angel Reese stinks," and their head coach took a picture with it. Disrespect? Absolutely. Reese never let it go, and when her former team got the win, she made sure to remind everyone. It was payback, and Reese made sure the world knew it. But was it too soon to celebrate? Just days later, LSU's tournament run came to an end. UCLA sent them packing, and suddenly the trash talk didn't hit the same. Was it karma? Maybe. But if there's one thing about Reese, she'll be back, louder than ever. Now let's talk about the rivalry that is taking the WNBA.
So I feel like the competition is there. You got to go out there and prove yourselves. And listen, are we going to get upset about 5, 6, 10 games less on television or not? I don't think we should. We have access to find these games now in a way that we never had before. And we have to appreciate that, and all these platforms that support the W. So, hey, listen, Caitlin, I am so thankful for her. I'm thankful for all of these women and where this game is, and we have to step back and see the big picture and how it's impacting all of us.
The WNBA isn't just getting a new generation of stars, it's getting a rivalry that could define the league. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Two icons, two competitors, and in 2025, they're set to face off 5 times. The hype is real. The Fever versus Sky matchup has already forced changes. Chicago had to move 2 games to the United Center to fit the demand. That's 23,500 seats, and they're expected to sell out. Has the WNBA ever seen anything like this? CBS took notice too. For the first time ever, their games will be on primetime network TV. This isn't just a regular season rivalry, it's history in the making. Clark and Reese are bringing in fans at a level women's basketball has never seen before. Let's rewind back to last season, when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese entered the WNBA with more hype than any rookies in recent memory. The spotlight was bright, and the pressure was real. Clark, drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever, wasted no time proving why she was one of the most electrifying scorers in basketball. Meanwhile, Reese, with her rebounding dominance and fierce competitive spirit, brought the same intensity she had at LSU to the Chicago Sky. The rivalry that started in college didn't fade, it only got bigger. And when the dust settled, Clark edged out Reese, winning Rookie of the Year. Some loved it, some called it favoritism, but the numbers didn't lie.
Well, it took just 1 hour for Caitlin Clark's return to Carver Hawkeye Arena to be sold out. Tickets went on sale at 9 this morning. They were all gone before general sale to the public.
What really stood out, though, wasn't just their stats. It was their impact on the league itself. The WNBA had never seen this level of attention before. Arenas started selling out. Merchandise flew off the shelves. Social media engagement skyrocketed. Suddenly, networks that once ignored women's basketball were fighting to air these games. The Fever had 41 of their 44 games nationally televised. Even the defending champions didn't get that kind of exposure.
Well, I mean, you led with it, right? The league, again, it's so much different when you have Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese transforming viewership and sales and people butts in the seats, frankly. The league is taking in much more money, about $200 million last year.
The league's revenue grew, and so did player salaries. Lisa Leslie said it best: when one player eats, we all eat. Clark's arrival and Reese's fiery personality weren't just boosting their own brands. They were lifting the entire WNBA to a new level. But here's the real question. Can this season be even bigger than the last? The schedule is set, and the hype is already building. Clark and Reese will face off 5 times this season, and 2 of those games have been moved to the massive United Center. That's a first in WNBA history. CBS has put them in prime time on network television, another groundbreaking move. If last season was the spark, This season could be the explosion. So, is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Are we about to witness the most watched WNBA season in history? The numbers last year shattered records, but something tells me we haven't seen anything yet. The league has been waiting for a moment like this. Is this the season that changes everything? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates in WNBA. Thanks for watching.